Hello everybody, I'm here to tell you that AI is probably going to take your job, and that's actually a good thing. Now you're probably wondering, why the hell are you smiling as you say that? Okay, I'm going to give you the reason and then explain everything. The whole point of technology is to essentially just replace certain jobs. The whole point of a washing machine and a dryer is that you don't have to do that stuff. You don't have to dedicate your time drying and washing clothes. The whole point of AC is to cool you down, and unless you want to be a woman from Egypt fanning an Egyptian pharaoh with a massive leaf, I don't want to do that, then I would rather appreciate technology. So yes, the whole point of technology is to essentially just replace you in your job that you're doing. But sometimes you have to remember why that's important. Well, it essentially frees you up to do cooler things. And plus, with the rise of technology, new jobs come about, and they typically tend to be better. Give or take 30 years ago, people were in debate whether or not the internet would have any impact on society.
Well, Allison should know.
What is internet anyway?
But if you look at it in the future now, since we are in 2023, we can see so much that the world has received from technology, and especially the internet. Who would have thought that you could make money giving away shoes to kids who need it in Africa, or essentially living life like Phineas and Ferb, creating roller coasters and essentially living your childhood dream on camera? Who would have thought you can make money making video games and showing yourself making video games? Who would have thought you could make money playing video games, playing Call of Duty and just talking over it, traveling, and then obviously just working from home and spending time with your family and petting your dog? These are the new things that the internet has essentially allowed us to have. Freedom. We're not tied to a factory. We're not tied to a workspace. That's why there's a bunch of digital nomads going all the way to Costa Rica or to Turkey or to China or to Japan just to work. Now, the problem is, okay, Julian, yeah, it's going to take my job and you're all optimistic about that, but where else am I going to work? I don't know. Listen, whenever it comes to predicting the future, that's an impossible task to do. You can only point out things that are obviously already happening or that people are already pushing to happen. But if it's not in anyone's mind, or if it's not obviously apparent, then essentially we can't predict it. 20 years ago, you would have laughed at me if I told you that someone would make money playing Call of Duty, but here we are. And it actually makes sense that AI so far has taken the biggest leap in the creative space, such as media, such as photos, such as coding. This actually makes sense why it did that. In sci-fi films, AI has always been seen as a physical robot, something that you can touch, something that's actually tangible. But now I see why that's actually unrealistic, especially in the beginning phases. The same reason why the internet is so powerful is also the same reason why ChatGPT and all these other AI forms are essentially targeting the creative space more than the actual physical space. Why? Because both can be replicated without any extra cost. Changing pixels on a screen to a different color, which is essentially what your phone does whenever you watch a movie or whenever it loads up the answer from ChatGPT, that is really just changing pixels on a screen, but it doesn't create things into existence. So yeah, everyone thought that AI was going to take over the blue and the white collar first jobs, such as machines in the factories, but no, it actually makes sense that it's taking over the creative space, because making artwork and making code, that doesn't cost any money to build. It's very easy to change on a dime, aka it's very easy to improve. But anyway, I'm getting way off track. Back on topic with the jobs and what people are going to have to do whenever their job is taken over by AI. Like I said, I can't predict the future. You can't predict the future. It's not something that we can really do. Now, is there going to be a rough period in which someone who lost their job due to AI is now not able to find a job? Yes, most likely, but only temporarily. With the new modes of technology coming into play, essentially new jobs get created. And even before the internet, whenever televisions were made, people sold those televisions. Whenever cars were made, and then now we no longer need horses, now we have mechanics. Jobs get created. Now, I don't know what the jobs are going to be. I'm so sorry that I'm sounding useless to y'all. But obviously, our biggest hindrance is not AI. The problem that we have with AI taking our jobs is essentially how stubborn and in denial humans tend to be whenever it comes to change happening in their life. What we shouldn't be worried about is whether or not AI will take our job. That's the whole point of technology, to make our life easier and do the jobs for us. What we do need to worry about is essentially people's open-mindedness towards it. If, let's say, half of the whole human race is using AI in everyday life and in business and in everything, and the other half doesn't want to lose their job, even though they already did, but they're in denial of it, that misery is what we're afraid of in this narrative of AI taking our jobs. Humans' biggest threat is ourselves, not AI. Because in the end, people use AI, not AI uses AI. We are choosing to use it. In the end, it's still being used as a tool. So yeah, the whole problem with AI is not AI, but people's misery towards change. And we need to get open-minded to it, because it's not going anywhere. Because obviously it has some real-world application. And things that have real-world application will not stop being used. Obviously, I'm a little bit more optimistic on the topic, because AI in the end is still technology. If you want to be a cynic and if you want to see things in a more fatalistic attitude, then I guess we're all gonna die. But, you know, it's still going to be cool on the way there, seeing all these improvements with AI. If I can make a whole movie within 30 seconds by typing something up, and it's exactly what I tailored it to be, that would be so cool. I can make Toy Story combined with Alien versus Predator. I don't know. That shit would be badass. Okay, well, I'm done stalling. Thank you so much for watching my video. Blah, 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 blah. If you subscribe, you're awesome. Thank you.